Good morning, Jack. Anybody that went into a shop over the weekend, we can see this change happening before our very eyes. Even the supermarket that I went into had one till with a human being on it, and the rest of them, I was doing the job myself. That's what's happening, isn't it?
Well, Bev, this report out today from the Centre for Retail Research outlines that just since the start of the year, we're only still in February, but there's 15,000 either job cuts or announced losses coming this year. And the fact is, the report also says that there's unlikely to be any respite from this as well. When we break it down, around 3,000 of those job losses are coming from companies and businesses going in administration or insolvency. We know on the high street we're losing the likes of Paperchase, M&Co as well. But the majority of these losses, around 11,500 of them, coming from companies, big companies with 10 or more stores across the country. Your supermarkets are shutting down stores and trying to cut costs because they've got to keep, of course, within consumer budgets, their own higher energy costs and, of course, their own taxes as well. One of those, of course, business rates. We know they're going to be reset on the 1st of April in a national revaluation, with the Treasury saying that around businesses are going to save around 20% on their bills. And they're also going to receive around a 75% discount on those rates, up to a cap of around £110,000. So that might be very beneficial for smaller, more independent businesses, but for the bigger businesses like Asda, like Wilko, your high street stores where they've got multiple stores across the country, the fact is that cap means they're not going to necessarily benefit so much, and they're still going to have to start cut costs. In what companies are doing is a rationalisation essentially. We know on the high street is changing. New Look have already closed 5 stores. Iceland have announced they're going to close 5 stores over the next few months. Marks and Spencer is one of the stores you can see behind me. As a company, they say they're going to close around half a dozen stores this year, and possibly, we don't know, more to come depending on this situation. But we know how much the pandemic also affected the high street. 26.5% of our shopping is now done online, and so that's always going to mean that the high street is going to change and businesses have to adapt. Where those adaptations go, well, we know a lot of people are starting to socialise more, use the high street for bars, for restaurants, rather than just necessarily shopping. And so there'll be a lot of people that work in retail that are concerned by these figures about how safe and secure their job is, but it just means the high street seems to be changing rather than necessarily dying.